Hi, everyone. I'm Alexis Davidson, and I'm giving a quick intro to the DLOS Movie Info webpage, which is the final project for Group 2. So, our project we decided to base off of the OMDB API. And for those of you that don't know, the OMDB API is the open movie database, which is very similar to the IMDb website, which a lot of you should be most likely familiar with. So the API, it allows us to obtain information about different movies, TV series, and also their individual episodes. So what we decided to do was to implement a homepage for our website, and what it allows you to do is view some popular releases or some featured releases for both the years 2024 and 2023. So within here, we have two movie carousels where you're able to view movies based on, again, based on the year that is featured. So as you can see, the movie information is populated on these little cards within the carousel. We have them viewable in groups of three. Um, and on each movie card, it has the title of the movie. We have the poster if it's available, and then the type that it is, which this would either be movie, TV series, or episode, dependent on which it is. The homepage, we have it catered specifically to movies. And then the release year is also available. So obviously, we have it sorted between 2024 and 2023 for the homepage. So that's the years that you're going to see on each of the cards. So you are able to navigate through each of these, and they are interactive. So you are able to end up clicking the More button on any of these cards to end up seeing more information on the movie that you selected. So we'll get into that later in the demo. But I also wanted to go through another major part of the homepage is our search bar, which is the ability, it really gives the user the ability to search for whatever type of movie or show that they are looking to get information on. So, one thing to note about the OMDB API itself is that fuzzy search is not something that is supported. So, when you insert a search term here, it does have to be an entire word or phrase. You're not able to kind of piece things together. Also, another restriction that the OMDB API does kind of have is you cannot submit a search unless you do have a search term. So it's something that we did run into a little bit when it came to displaying 2024 and 2023 releases. You cannot just query the OMDB API to only get to only filter by year. You also have to have some sort of search term. So the way that the DLOS movie info application works is that we have a bunch of terms that have been determined to be words or phrases that are very commonly used in different movies and TV shows, and we have those randomized this way. At least every time you visit the homepage, you do get different information each time. Now, for the search bar, you are able to filter it by year. You can select the year here, or you can type it in yourself. You are also able to select the type that you're looking at. So if you want all types, you can leave it filtered as that. You can select movie, series, or episode. And then, like I mentioned, the search term. So if we wanted to, we could just clear out the year, keep it at all. And for a search term, let's say I wanted to do the name. I wanted to look for something that has the word movie in the name. I'm able to enter that and click the search button, and I will get a search results page of all of the movies with any year that has the word movie in it. Now, I don't want to go into this too much. I'm going to pass this off to where we'll have a little bit more information on the search results page.
My name is Nam Wu, and I'll be covering this next section of the demo. So first things first, we have this search results page, which I assume have been created by Alexis since he's the one who created the test for it. I searched for the term movie within the search bar, and it should return whatever type you put in, the year you want to check, And whatever movies have that word in the title. Unfortunately, we can't do fuzzy searches, so we have to search for the exact term in the title. We have a good selection of movies here. 15 movies on each page to be exact, with 5 rows of jury. We also have a pagination component here, courtesy of Michael, and we have a total of 4 pages. Looking at the code, we have a total of 15 items per page, all represented by the movie card. If there's message being found, then it gives us a message, and no results found for a search. And it spells implementing the pagination components. The pagination components, we have a maximum page number of 5, and again, if nothing comes up, then it says no contents. Now let's try and check out one of the movies here. Let's say the Lego movie. This was the container that I worked on. We have a search bar in case you want to check out any other movie. We have the movie's title, its type, release year, the rating, the runtime, IMDb rating, its poster, a summary, its genres, any awards it won, and its total number of nominations, the directors, the writers, and 3 members of the cast. If I include everyone, that list will be incredibly long. If we look at the code, as you can see, it's pretty simple. We take the data from the movie based on the movie that's obtained from the more button of the movie container, and it basically just puts the information where it will be appropriate. And that's about it for my section. Pardon, that's from another class. And yeah, that should be, yeah, let's move on to the next.
So right now we are at the homepage, where at the top you can see we have the title of the Delos movie info and homepage and about, which was the nav bar that we implemented. If you can click the about. Right here was our about page where we created a members JSON to show the biographies of each of our group members as well as the summary at the top for the project or the assignment, final assignment. If you do, can you show the members JSON? So this is the members JSON that we created, which we have pointing. We were able to point our about page to where we created each member's biography. We added a image, and we also added an ID to keep it to make it to where it was in order by last name, first initial of the last name. So that concludes my portion.
Hi, this is Michael, and I'm going to go over the back end for Team 2 and show kind of a little bit of how the back end service works. Um, First thing we have is we have a member controller, and it is able to return either a single member or all the members. This is used for the About page or for showing a detail of one of the members. It is backed up by the member service. When it starts up, it reads from a members.json file and then caches that. From there, anytime there's a call for a member or the list of members, it's a memory and can just be returned. Moving on, we go to the movie controller, and it is obviously about returning movies. So we can search for one if we have the ID, or do a specific search based on the term presented. And we can also append one or more years or one or more types. Currently, the front end only supports sending one at a time, but the back end can take more than one. And from there, that is backed by the Cache Movie Service. The Cache Movie Service is used to cache the results of movie searches. And so what happens is if we search for a specific movie, if we do not have it, we will then go request that from the movie service and come back and add it. And we've got a prune down here, and this prune, all it does is say if we've reached more than 100 objects in the cache, take the last ones. By last, I mean the oldest ones out of cache. So we will only have ever 100 items in cache at a time. At this point, if we come down here and we still don't have it in cache, then that means we don't actually have it. The search failed and we'll return null. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and return the movie. When searching for a movie, we use the search term and we pass years and types. And what we do here is pretty much the same as what we do up top. And that is, when we get here, we look to see if that search term was already in the cache. If it's not in the cache, we'll forward that request onto the movie service, and we'll take, when we get that back, we'll put that into the cache, and then we got the same logic to prune the cache. So the oldest items are evicted once we hit more than 100 items. Again, to keeping it to no more than 100 items. And then at that point, if we do have that results to return or not, is checked again. And if we don't have any results, we return an empty array. Otherwise, we return the search. The actual service itself, when it first starts up, it calls this API key service, which is used to read a file called api.key to get the key out of the file. Once we have the key, we're able to start using the service. And as if we want to make a call to get a movie, you can see at the top that after we get the key, we set up a template for the search and the movie URL. So when we get down here for just getting a movie, we just need to pin the ID onto the end of it, read and parse the JSON, and if we don't get a movie, or we get a response of that doesn't have true in the response, we will return a null. The return is something from the OMDB API that's returned to let you know whether or not the request was successful. From there, we then return the movie. For the searching for movies, we do the same thing. We check to see if our API key is loaded. If it's not, we return an empty list. We URL encode our search term and add it to our URL template. And then we check to see if there are any years or types to add to the search, and if there are not, we just do a single search. Otherwise, we need to create the URLs for the search and then make that query. Once we get that back, we need to convert that into the movie objects that we are expecting, and we'll return the movies. Now, for doing the queries, we've got the query single URL, which is what we saw up here, and that basically just takes the URL and wraps it in a string array and then passes it on to the query URLs. The create URLs takes the year and the types and then checks to see if it needs to append either one. And so what it does is for each year and each type, it has to create a new URL to be able to search for those parameters. The OMDB API does not allow for submitting multiple years or multiple types. So if we have multiple of either one, we have to add them individually. If we only have years or only have type, then we only make the URLs based on that. From that, we return the URLs as an array, and then as you saw up above, we call query URLs to request the searches. I've limited it to 5 queries at most. The OMDB API only returns up to 10 movies at a time. So to be able to get multiple movies, we have to make at least one request to find out how many movies there could be returned, which is what this page count is. And then we will request up to either 5, which is our max page queries, or until we reach the page count. Each time we request it, we parse the JSON, and if it's a good search, we will take the results and add them to our list. Once we've finished out with this, we'll then return an array that'll go back up through the cache to be saved, back through the movie controller to be returned back to the front end. That's been the back end, and if you have any questions, comments, they're always welcome.